What is up, members of my collector corps? It is I, Super Mario Zilla, or you can call me Vinny, and today we will be taking a look at the S.H.Figuarts First Form Cell. Cell's first form at last joins S.H.Figuarts and is a regular retail release, with an MSRP around $70. Collectors have demanded Cell's other forms for a long time, and Bandai finally delivers. Is this a sign that second form Cell is on the way, as well as maybe an updated Perfect Cell? I personally hope so, but who knows? We have to wait and see. Most importantly though, is this a good figure? Well, I don't know why else you clicked on this video unless you like watching my stuff, which I highly appreciate, by the way. Anyway, let's see if Cell deserves a spot on your Dragon Ball Z shelf. Cell's design is definitely more complex than most characters in the series, mostly being on the pattern you see all over him. That said, Cell looks great. The paint job is clean, and he sports a very nice forest green, makes him pop, with a duller green being used on the upper arms and legs and on the neck. The blue flesh you can see between his limbs sports a fleshy muscle texture, and it looks good. Cell's first form was way more lanky, and it was captured nicely here, when he's not compared to other figures. More on that later. Cell looks vibrant, and everything he has makes him demand some attention. He has a menacing presence. I love the tail, has a very curved sculpt in all segments. Overall, I think Cell looks awesome, with some minor issues like the black not being lined up with some of the sculpt properly, but that's only a problem when you're looking up close. He looks killer.
Cell's articulation is pretty solid stuff. So without wasting any more time, let's go over it. Head is on a ball joint, head is on a double ball peg, and neck is also on a ball joint, so he can look this high up, which is pretty much all the way, can look this far down, and we do have plenty of range, plenty of lean, and can also look side to side. Yeah, it used to be stiff, so it used to be pretty tight, so I put dish soap in there. That's why you hear that noise of grinding. This chest piece right here, I think is on a bit of a ball joint, but as you can see, it does not want to move much. Waist popped out there. Yeah. The waist, though, is on a ball joint, as you saw earlier, and is also on a bit of a hinge system, so he can crunch forward pretty far, and can crunch backward not very far at all. Actually, wait. Hold on. Yeah, not very far at all. I mean, you could get more by leaning the legs a little bit backwards, so there's that at least. So, yeah. Arms are on ball joints. The shoulders are on a hinge. He can go all the way up, and shoulder pads are on this ball-jointed hinge system to hide any gaps. There's also a bit of a butterfly joint in the shoulders, as you can see here, and is covered up by Sculpt, so that's good. Legs have the classic Figuarts pull-down style hinge, so he could get more range, so he could kick his legs forward just about this much, backward, not very far, and splits, not much for the splits. You know something, I forgot about the rest of the arm. Biceps can swivel, double hinged elbows, way more than 90 degrees, and ball hinged wrists. I think I said thighs can swivel, but yeah, they can. Legs, double hinge, pretty good movement. Feet are, well, you saw right there. Feet are on ball joints, so ankle rocker is pretty solid. Well, it's decent stuff. It's not the best. It's not the best, but it can still get the job done. But the feet can also rotate and rock around. Can kick his ankles pretty much this far back and forward. Pretty much this far forward. These wings, I think they're called wings anyway. You can flap backward just about this much. Although they're on very tiny pegs, so be careful not to break those. They have very little rotation and wiggle woggle, so it seems they can only move up and down. But because the pegs are very tiny, please move them by the... Well, you can actually see right now. Look at how tiny these pegs are. These things are incredibly tiny. So please, by all means, when handling the wings, be very gentle and handle them with caution, otherwise you will break them. Move them by the base, best case scenario to prevent breakage. His absorption tube, don't even ask me what the heck this thing is called, because I honestly don't know. Because I know for a fact that it's not a tail.
Hello, Editor Vinny here. So if you're wondering why all of a sudden I got confused about the tail being an absorption tube, is because I normally record articulation first before the rest of the audio in the rest of the review. I just try my best to get everything to line up, and when I was putting the figure away, I noticed on the instructions that Bandai does indeed refer to it as a tail, so I felt pretty stupid when I realized I made that mistake. Anyway, back to your MarioZilla program.
Okay, so the base of it is on a ball joint. You have to adjust it so I can get maximum range without grinding against the sculpt. We have 3 segments on the tube that are in ball hinges, or swivel hinges, more like. Even though this tube would have lended itself as a bendy wire, I'm really glad they did not go the bendy wire route, because that would have led to problems. It's not limited by these. You can rotate the ball hinges however you want to get more posing options out of the tube. But the problem is that the segments, the way they're sculpted and painted, it's going to break up a lot and look kind of goofy. It can be done, but it's just not going to look right. So if you're getting this figure, do keep that in mind. No way many segments of ball joints would not have been good for this tail. That would have just led to unnecessary issues for the sculpt of it and the design of it. So Cell's articulation is pretty good stuff for his design. If you were hoping to get posability out of him, he's got plenty of posability and fun factor. Well, whether you need him to attack the androids to get ready to absorb them, or fight Piccolo, Tien, Android 16, choice is all yours.
Cell comes with not a lot of accessories, but still a decent amount. He has everything he needs. If you were hoping for effects, well, they're not here. Still, let's see what he comes with. He has an alternate headpiece, which is a slightly different sculpt to make him appear more angry. The default piece is on the left, and the alternate piece is on the right. There is actually a visible difference when comparing them side to side. Not easy to spot without this comparison, so I hope this helps some of you to have a better idea how the pieces differ. All the faces can go on these head sculpts. They are universal. For the faces, he has the neutral stern face that was on him in the package. Next is an open mouth face, which has a QC issue of the sculpt on the mouth being too soft, and looks weird when compared to the next face, because it's the same face, except he's looking to his left. You can see this face looks much cleaner. Weird. His next face is a yelling, screaming face. For the hands, he comes with 2 fist hands that were on him in the package, 2 calm, relaxed hands, 2 open, clutching hands, 2 Kamehameha hands, and 2 open blast effect hands. Next is an end tail piece, but open to absorb Android 17. Switching the parts is easy. Just remove the default tail end from the ball joint and pop the open end tail piece on. Cell doesn't come with the most accessories, but does come with everything he needs anyway. Would have been nice to have maybe 1 effect piece, but not a big deal for his package. Here's a size comparison with figures you may or may not own. Cell on his own looks pretty lanky, but compared to other characters like Piccolo, he definitely should be a bit taller. It's because his legs are not quite as long as they appeared in the anime, so you may be a bit disappointed with Cell's height. I am too, but at the same time, it's not like he's undersized either. Nonetheless, it's still an issue. Cell is a solid release. He looks amazing and poses really well, and comes with the stuff he needs. The only problem I have is the height. Now don't get me wrong, you could still get him in displays with other figures and toy photography, and he will look good. It's just something to consider if you plan to pick this figure up, and $75 is a bit of a steep price. I'm happy to have him, and I don't regret my purchase, and I love him, but I would have been happier if this was $10 cheaper. If you need the first form Cell, then pick it up. He's still available on the market at the time this video goes up. But if the price does bother you, then wait for a sale to pop up. I love him, but short of a home run. I'll give Cell an 8 out of 10.